our next task is to calculate the cost of running all those ads. Let's try something like that. Okay, I would like to zoom out furthermore, and here it is. Let's write equals. We have decided to run 4,07, or maybe we'll later correct it, but we'll have to calculate the things first, then we'll do the correction. 4,07 advertisements in France. So the cost of it is 4,07, which is in cell C20, times 160,000. Here it is. Each ad will be 160,000, and we have 4,07 ads. So here comes the first cost we're going to incur. Okay. Now, we don't buy anything in Monday Night Football. 0 ads there. I'm sorry. I had to click on this multiplication, and now we're going to add to it plus, and we're going to add other money as well. So we don't buy anything in Monday Night Football, but we should still put in here plus D20 times D15. The reason behind it is that maybe sometimes our data analysis people will change our decision, and then the workbook or Excel file should still work. Thus, we will put all the zeros in there as well, and we won't have to redo the formulas once the decision has been changed. Plus 0 for Malcolm in the middle, times 80,000, that doesn't cost us anything as well. Plus now, almost 80 ads in SportsCenter, times $9,000, which is something like $720,000. Okay, the first one was something like the first multiplication was something like 640, now 720 added on top of that, plus nothing in Total Request Live, so 0 will be multiplied with 13. Now some more, 20 in Lifetime Movies, so 20 advertisements multiplied by $15,000. This is something like $300,000 more dollars, and plus no ads in CNN times $8,000 per ad, and finally plus JAG series gets free ads times $85,000 per one ad. And we have now multiplied together all the decisions with all the costs, and we've added those multiplications, and when we press enter we get something like $1,927 million. That's what our project will really cost us. There's one thing though, remember this was in millions, but the viewerships were in millions, but the costs were in thousands of dollars. Okay, now this here is advertisements times costs. So the number really itself is in thousands of dollars, but it's the number in this cell actually is 1,927,629, which means that it's really the number itself is a little bit less than 2,000, but since these numbers were all in thousands of dollars, there is a small trick that's been done here. People have clicked on Control-1, said that this number, and remember, besides fill, colors, borders, fonts, we also often consider this number properties, and it's been told to show three decimal places here, so that if the number itself is almost 2000, it looks like it displays a number that's almost 2 million. So they have basically done such a thing that I have just said 3 decimal places. Here it is. I just switched off dollars, but we can put them right back. And this number really rather looks like 2 million, whereas actually this Excel cell contains only 2000. Okay, so such things, if you want to manipulate with what size numbers you really have in your Excel cells. Okay, now another question. Men from age 18 to 35, how many of them did see our advertisements? The thing we're going to do is basically the same. We take 4 advertisements in France, and now each of the 4 advertisements were seen in this age and sex group by men 18-35 by 6 million men. So from France we get something like 24 million viewers in this age sex group of men 18-35. Okay, but let's go on in the same way. Plus Monday Night Football was 0 ads, gets us, each ad would have gotten us 6 million viewers, but didn't. Now plus Malcolm in the Middle the same way, nothing here. Plus SportsCenter was 80 ads, and each ad gave us 0.5 million viewers, which means that from SportsCenter we got something like 40 million viewers in men 18-35 age sex group. Okay, so that's how, regarding our taking into consideration our decision, we are calculating how many men of 18-35 we reached with our different advertisements. Let's go on until the end the same way. 20 from Lifetime Movie times 0.1 plus 0 from CNN times 0.1 plus 3 from JAG times 1. Okay, and it turns out that if we enter this formula, we get 69,328 million such male viewers. Okay, so that's how we calculate it. Now the next trick we can do is we can actually copy all the other age sex groups, men, women, younger and older ones, from this formula. And now this is already quite complex. We're gonna take this formula, and now remember that if we copy this formula, we want this row to be fixed in the same place, and we want this row to move down. So if we take, for instance, men 36-55, we multiply this row one by one with still this row. This means that we can take this formula and with F4 fix all 20th rows. So C20, D20, I'm clicking on each and every one of those and then just clicking once on F4 key, and we'll fix it nicely. Okay, here it is. Let's click on enter, and now we can actually copy this formula till the end. And as you see on the third row, men over 55, it still takes our advertisement decision and one by one multiplies it together with the viewership numbers of men over 55. So it works just fine. And this already, of course, for a second week it was a very complex exercise and very hard one. So if you feel that it's difficult, it's absolutely correct natural way to feel. And now comes kind of such a fine point in it. As you can see, we really do reach more young viewers. More young men than older ones, more young women than older ones. And also, it seems that we reach a very exact number in 4 out of 6 age groups. So here it is. These are the 6 age sex groups. In 4 out of them, in 4 out of 6, the viewership number is really exactly 60 million, 60 million, 60 million, 28 million. And this is something that I mean, I can dare you to try to somehow make such a combination that such exact million numbers would come out. I think it can be guaranteed that if you would try to do that 10 years every day, you wouldn't come to such a number. Okay, so of course when we in the end run our commercials, we will just make 4 80, 20 and free advertisements. That's true, but this worksheet just wanted to show you kind of piece of what is to come in your further studies. Now there are a few more things to be considered.